So my name's Daniel. I just spent the better part of a year in Ghana, which is down in West Africa. So what I did there was a mixture of development work and missions work. So both working with an NGO, but then also working with the churches there and actually going out into villages and doing outreach. I guess I've always felt a calling towards either mission work or development work. I actually grew up as a missionary kid in Sudan with my parents. And, growing up alongside people who have it off a lot worse than you, I think I've always felt that responsibility to go back and both share the good message about Jesus, but also try and help them out with their day-to-day life. So then I took the opportunity before university to go out and have a trial year, gain some experience in the field, but also see what mission work could look like for me in a long-term setting. I was supported by the church and then also a home church back in Germany, but I went independently and didn't really know anyone there until I got there. So I spent some time down in the south with a church that had recently been planted, and that has now grown to a congregation of 30 people. And actually I still get contacted by people in that church, either telling me that they're thankful for my time there, but really they really appreciated the time I spent learning the language and getting involved. I think in the north, I really felt the impact, especially with the children. So I did a lot of children's work down there. And every week we came to 3 different villages, and in every village the children would run up and greet us all, and they would know our names, and they would get excited to hear the Bible story of the week. So I think you really felt like you were making a connection with those people, and you weren't just there every week for no reason. I think my personal highlight, or what I'm proudest of, I was able to lead an entire borehole project by myself. So what that means is we basically dug wells with the NGO. So this was another village where there was no Christian community at all. And as a Christian organization, we came in and I gathered all the data and talked to chiefs. And then by the end of the couple of weeks I had spent in that village, I made a report and presented it. And then we got everything financed. And now there's a new borehole in that village. And that village had around 2,000 people, but only water supply for about 400. I think the other borehole they had actually were by another charity, which were also Christian. So you could really see how grateful they were and were welcoming to your faith, even though it directly contrasted their largely Muslim beliefs. Yeah, I think especially in those 3 villages where we went in every week, because we had that repeated contact, we noticed that there was gradual progress in both belief and faith. We had 1 week where it was like a baptism week, and 2 people actually came to faith that week and got baptized, which was great because, in a community, in a largely Muslim community, that is a huge step to take out and, leave the faith that your entire family has. And a lot of people do it in quiet, but we did it out in public in the middle of the village. So that was really impactful. And actually the children especially, they could always tell us the stories we told in previous weeks, and they were happy to even share it with their families, which was really cool. There was definitely struggles, and every time God provided for me. Really what it did for me was cemented the fact that I wanted to do missions full time. And I've grown a lot more confident in the fact that I know that with God by my side, I can do pretty much anything, even going out to some rural village in my motorbike. We are all called to serve the world, and that includes other countries. I think one thing I really learned from the people in Ghana was how willing those people, despite having very little, were to immediately pick up the knowledge that they'd gained and the faith they'd had and share it with everyone they knew, and even go out to those rural villages. So I think it's vitally important, not just so that those people hear God's message, but actually I think you can grow a lot through that as well, because you yourself realize how different faith can be, and you get tested and you really grow in that with God.